Welcome to today's live weekly coaching session. I'm Rich Allen, your business coach. Thanks for joining me today. It's straight up 3 o'clock Central Time here on the 20th of February. Hope you're having a great week. Hope things are going well for you this week. I wanted to take a minute today and give you another tip of the week and give you a bit of information that you might be able to put into your business this week to make it just a little more powerful. So that's my goal for today. If you're on the line and you've got some very specific questions or anything that comes up today and you want to ask me, just post a question in the chat box and I'll respond to it. Otherwise, you can connect with this later on and email me your questions. I'll get right back to you. But this week I wanted to share with you an idea, a concept that I had a conversation with my coach that I just posted about. I just wrote a blog post earlier in the day about this that I think would be very helpful for you. And this is about building your marketing machine. You see, most of us spend our time generating leads for our business, and that's where it ends. We do all the work necessary to generate a new lead, make a contact with somebody, but we haven't built out our system, our machine, to handle those leads and move them from somebody who doesn't know us at all to somebody who's so confident that they want to do business with us that they get out their checkbook and write us a check. And so today what I want to talk to you about are the things that you need to do. Actually, it's 5 things that you need to do to build your marketing machine and build what my coach calls and what I affectionately refer to as well as my money magnet. That there's a way for you to actually attract new clients, new prospects to you, and handle them in such a way so that they generate revenue for you almost automatically. And I want to talk to you about the 5 steps to do that. So to build your marketing machine, you're going to start with step number 1. Now the way to do this, and in the blog I kind of lay this out, so you may be able to do this here if you're with me. Take out a blank sheet of paper, just a blank regular size sheet of paper, and turn it landscape, and turn it into a 5x5 matrix, if you will. So 4 lines down, 4 lines across. You should have 5 blocks or 5 columns, and then 5 rows on your page. Go to the left-hand column, and I want to just start at the top, and I'm going to give you the titles and what you need to put in those 5 columns going down the side. The first entry in your marketing machine, so in the top left-hand corner, on that block in the corner, I want you to write the word traffic source. So obviously we need to find different ways, and you've got an opportunity now to have 4 spaces where you can put in different ways for you to drive traffic to you. This may be online traffic, it may be networking traffic, it may be a direct mail or bold calling traffic, whatever it might be. But what are the sources that you're using to drive traffic? Now I'll tell you, we're going to leave that one there. We're going to park that for a second because I want to talk through the other 4 first, primarily because that's the one that we tend to spend most of our time on. But if you think about that, it's like turning that on. If you turn on your lead traffic, your traffic sources to generate leads, but you haven't figured out what you're going to do with those leads and built a system, a machine around them, it's like turning the water on in a tap. And rather than having the plug in the bottom of the drain, you have no drain plug, and therefore all the water that you're throwing in goes directly out the bottom of the dish, the bowl, the pan. You see what I mean? So we want, before we turn on the traffic and get our sources of traffic moving, we want to make sure that we got the rest of the system up and running and working. Right below a traffic source, I want you to put lead magnet. Lead magnet. And lead magnet is that awesome special offer, that giveaway, that compelling thing that you're going to do that's going to make people want to reach out to you. So it's an early stage in your prospecting. Once somebody knows that you exist, the question is, what can you give them that's a lead magnet that they say, wow, yeah, that's worth getting. I'd love to see that report. I'd love to get a sample of that. I'd love to do that free trial. What is that for you? You might have multiple lead magnets that you use. You may not have any. So as you think about it, I want you to fill in the other blocks in that row with what are your lead magnets, if any, or is that an area where you need to improve? But it's got to be compelling, it's got to be convincing, it's got to be easy to get, but you need to have a lead magnet, something that makes me want to stop, take notice, and take some action. Okay? Third block down, go down to the next one, and I want you to write in there, capture and convert. Capture and convert. Now that's the area where once somebody sees your lead magnet or the thing that your free giveaway, whatever it is you're going to offer them to let them experience who you are and what you can do for them, the question is, how are you going to capture their contact information, their email address, their phone number, their name, so that you can have begin a conversation, begin a dialogue with them. Now you may have an opt-in on your website, or your webpage may not have an opt-in bar where someone can go in and leave their name and contact information in exchange for receiving something from you. You may do it with a sheet of paper that all of your salespeople carry, and they actually capture people's names and contact information. Whatever it is, list those out, but you've got to have at least one, but preferably 2 or 3 different ways that you can capture people's contact information so that you can get them into your normal process of communicating with prospects. Because you see, some of the reality is some people you'll attract as leads will be ready to buy right now. They'll want to quickly get around to the point of saying, how can I buy from you? There are others who it may be a year away. You still want to build a relationship with them and nurture that relationship as you go along. So you've got to capture their information. That's the number 3 in your marketing machine. Number 4 in your marketing machine is prospect nurture. Prospect nurture. And as it sounds and as it means, this is the area where once you've captured their information, you now are going to build a relationship with them. They're going to get your weekly newsletter or periodic newsletter. They're going to receive from you tips and advice on a regular basis. If something's going on or something's happening in your business or something's happening with them, you're going to reach out and talk to them. You're going to start a conversation, and it's going to go on for a time. You see, there are some, and in fact, Jay Levinson, the father of the Marlboro Man, suggests that you've got to get somebody's attention at least 9 times before they'll do business with you. And further, he says that 2 out of every 3 times you're trying to talk to somebody, they're not listening. They're not paying attention. So that means you've got to touch someone 27 times for them to pay attention enough to be comfortable enough to do business with you. So this notion of prospect nurturing is critical. So what are the ways that you nurture your prospects? How do you continue to make them more and more confident and comfortable with you that you're the person they should be doing business with? Now, drop down to the last block in that first column, and I want you to put in there conversion tool. Conversion tool. And the conversion tool is, what's the way, or maybe you have multiple ways, but what are the ways that you actually get with your prospect to actually close the deal? It may be a one-to-one meeting. It may be a telephone conference or a webinar. It might be you're out in the field, you go to their location, it's an on-site delivery kind of thing. Maybe they walk into your shop. Not sure what it is, but what's the conversion tool? What is it that when people move to that point where they're ready to buy, that you close the deal, and how do you do that? What are the ways that you have? So you ought to have 5 areas outlined for your marketing machine. You should have traffic source, where the lead's coming from. What's your lead magnet? So what is it that they're gonna see that's going to attract them and make them say, that's interesting, I want to learn more. What are you going to do to capture and convert? Number 3. How are you going to get their data, their contact information, so you can begin a communication, a dialogue with them? Number 4, how are you going to nurture your prospects? So prospect nurture, number 4. And lastly, number 5, what's your conversion tool? Now, once you have those 5 laid out, then what you need to do is spend some time on the other columns and put down what you actually do today. So what are those activities, those processes you have in place? And as you put together your page and fill out your page, you're going to find that there may be places where you have gaps. There may be places where you may have something almost done, but it isn't working very well. It might be a traffic source, but it's not generating traffic. So there's got to be some work done to that. You got to see that through that, you've got to be able to find a way to put a positive check mark on at least one resource in each one of those rows in order to move your prospects from a lead to a customer. Preferably, you'd have more than one in each row, but initially you have to have at least one. Otherwise, you have a clogged pipeline. You can't get somebody through very efficiently, and therefore you won't be generating many leads. Right? So does that make sense? So hopefully this gives you some way to visually sit down, look at what you have, map out where you're at today, look at what you need to develop, and you can focus your attention on that area that needs it most. And my advice to you is this: work first on the bottom 4 before you go up and start turning on the tap for your traffic. So don't go out and do AdWords. Don't do Google search terms until you've got the other things in place. You don't want to spend money and have the water all drain away from you. You want to make sure that the money that you're spending, if it's costing you money to generate leads, that you have a method to move them through your process and capture them at the bottom. That's why we call it a money magnet. If you put this together and put it together correctly and have a compelling story throughout all 5 steps, and have it very well disciplined and documented on what you do in each one of the steps, do it consistently, you'll attract new customers like never before. If you need more detail on it, check out my blog post. I posted it up there today. It's there and you'll find it. Or you can just shoot me an email, somehow reach out to me. I'll be glad to help. I'll do whatever I can to help you understand this and work out for you what your marketing machine looks like and how you can turn that into a money magnet for your business. I hope that's been helpful. Take time this week to build your marketing machine. It's critical if you expect to grow your business this year. I'm Rich Allen, your business coach. Thanks for joining me today on this week's Tip of the Week. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Make it a great week. And as always, I'll tell you, ride hard. Have a great day.